Hello, welcome to Neuvias. My name is Carol. This is lovely Marge today.
Hello.
In today's topic, we are going to be discussing the energies are flowing. Because lately the energies have been really going strong and all over the place, right, Marge?
Oh yeah, yeah. There's been a lot going on in the world.
Yes, for sure. There's definitely a lot of transition going on and just a lot of good upheaval and bad upheaval and just lots of
Yeah,
upheaval going on. So,
that's true.
yes.
Looking forward to the conversation.
Yes, me too. I will say that with this month that people will probably start feeling like they are in limbo. I do know that that's kind of the energy we have going on in the moment, and of course, finding your courage as well is another one. Dealing with the month of June and the energies this month, because the reason we wanted to have this podcast today too is because I know Marge and I have both been our energies have been a little off. So, and that's not
Yeah,
crazy talk. That's just serious talk.
just serious. That's just the way it is.
Yes. I mean, the last few months have been we've been on point, and then this month comes and we're just feeling a little lightheaded, a little woozy. We don't know if we're coming or going.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know if that was real. That was from an alignment, a planetary alignment, or from the solar coronal message. What do they call it? A coronal ejection, um, or just the energy of the time right now. Your energy and my energy, everybody's energy impacts everybody around them. And the more people that are feeling this
yeah.
upheaval, the
Hmm.
more upheaval there is.
Yes. I totally agree. It's also a good time to start finding a little bit of clarity, because that's also when you're on a woozy kind of roller coaster and you don't know if you're coming, maybe it's time to kind of start getting a little grounded and getting some clarity out there. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
take some time, find some silence,
yeah,
breathe.
yes, I would also agree. I would also say if you can, oops, if you can try to get out with Mother Nature because the sun does wonders for your soul. I mean, I cannot express that enough.
Yeah.
Another good thing too is I don't know if people are feeling this. I don't know if you're feeling this, Marge, but detoxing is starting to take a huge rise, and it's sometimes good to detox from your body because you get your spirit set back into center. So
Mhm.
that's another good thing that will help you find some clarity too is detox. I'm not saying do it for like a whole month, 48 days or whatever. Just
Yeah.
even 3 days of just doing a good cleansing will help you.
Yeah. That makes a big difference. Eat cleanly, breathe cleanly.
Yes.
Make sure you take some time for yourself. It really impacts your whole self.
Yes, no, I agree. Well, but I brought today's cards to talk about the energies. Is the spirit of the animals, and of course, I brought karma cards because I feel like karma cards is a good way to kind of put those energies in motion.
Yeah, sounds like a good one.
I know, yeah. Yeah. So let's see what the spirit of the animals have to say. And since we are on the topic today about the energies are flowing, so if you're feeling some kind of way, we're all that right there with you. We know what people are going through. We know what we're going through.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
I
just
think some of this energy change too is the fact that we're in a 9 year, right?
yes,
And we're halfway through the 9 years. So now we're thoroughly in it.
yeah,
It takes that the flow through the year.
hmm,
It all makes a difference.
yes. No, I so agree. Um, so this one is raccoon. It says inventor. So raccoons are supposedly inventors. So I'm going to read it and then see what we are talking about today. And it says, decide on what you really want. You have the ingenuity to claim it. Avoid being the trickster and practice integrity. You have many roles and can juggle them well. So
That
that
makes
might,
sense.
yeah, because so maybe that's why your energies are kind of, like I said, all over the place because you're having to practice integrity, but it also says you can juggle them all well. So I know it's hard when your mindset is not in the right frame of mind and you're having so much come at you and you're just having so much going on up here that you're just not even focused there. So
Yeah. Yeah. That's an
I
interesting one.
yeah. So and it's saying inventor, you know. So
Yeah.
I would say even though I know we have all these energies and stuff flowing, Marge, the doors are still opening for people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and so there is opportunity for you to start inventing stuff. I know if your mind, like I said, if you want to get out in nature and maybe kind of regroup and regather and refocus on those thoughts, who knows? Maybe you might get some amazing idea that comes to you.
That's true.
Yeah, to for a good invention.
Yeah. Or maybe you're just reinventing yourself.
Always reinventing ourselves. We're
Hmm.
always reinventing ourselves, people. Just
Yeah.
remember
Moment to moment, not even day to
that.
day.
Yes. And raccoons are too, there are, honestly, I have to say, raccoons are pretty smart. Like,
They're
they know
very
how to
smart.
get into things that we don't even understand how they got there.
That's
So,
true. That's very true.
yeah, so that's another thing, who knows? Maybe you were going to be doing something and you don't even know how you started it, but it just started flowing for you.
Yeah. That's definitely a good point.
So, since we are talking today about the energies, Marge, I was going to ask you, how do you handle a bunch of the energies going on? Is there some type of thing that you do in general, or do you go get grounded, or do you go take a shower, or not a shower, but a long extended bath? What is it that you do to kind of get?
I normally I will sit outside and get grounded and get some sun and listen to the nature and commune with nature. Hopefully get my feet on the ground, not just on the cement on the patio, but
Yes,
get in the ground or gardening. Something to get me in touch with the real me, which is not got anything to do with the work that we do or the housework or bills or anything like that. Push, don't push it away. Just forget it for a while and
right.
just be myself. And so when the energies are bubbling up in a way that doesn't feel great to me,
Mhm.
I go make sure something feels great to me. And that would be being out in the yard, out in nature.
Yes, that's a good way. I would say too, yeah. Even if I know what I like to do is when I can, possibly because I do live in Texas, there's not an ocean close to us, but I will get in my vehicle and drive to an ocean if I have to, just to put my feet in the sand, to hear that emotion of the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sets me in motion like completely in a whole different limelight. Another one is I do go hiking. Hiking is, like you said, getting out in nature. Walking the dog. That's
Hmm.
another one. But just getting some sunlight, even if you're out in the garden, that
Yeah.
helps tremendously. Or getting your hands in that soil.
Yeah. That you're seriously in touch when your hands are in the dirt
Dirt.
because you're
Yes.
touching the mycelium and it's touching the rest of the world. So
Yes.
it's cool.
It is cool. I would say, yeah, those are just a couple of things that y'all can do. Now, if for some reason you cannot get outside, and you're having so much going on and stuff, I would probably recommend like maybe just throwing some meditation music on and just setting with a candle in complete darkness, but have a few candles going and just kind of sitting in your zen.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes good sense. It's
Yeah.
funny, you talk about grounding, and a lot of people don't realize that even when you're taking a shower, you are
Mhm.
grounding. If you're doing dishes and the water is running, you're grounding because that water is touching the earth. It may be 2 miles away before it comes out of a pipe and touches the earth, but it is touching the earth. And that communication works all the way through.
Yes.
That's why a shower is so refreshing. It's because you're actually getting grounded.
No, that's true. I can't, yeah, water is from above, from what, above down below. So it's honestly, water is everywhere. We're made up of what, 90%, 80%
Yeah,
water, 90%
a
water.
lot.
Yeah, I can't remember the percentage, but I do know that we're made up of that. So
Yeah.
yeah, so a lot of self love also will help you during these turmoil times of being a little off this month, because
Yeah.
it's just a little imbalance. But I mean, if you really think about it, Marge, though, like the imbalance is like, you can't have light without darkness. You know,
Yep.
you can't have the rain without the sun. So that's kind of a way to look at those imbalances. And since, yeah, that's how we kind of not don't see it in that light. So
Yeah. Well, if life was hunky dory all the time, you wouldn't appreciate it. Yeah. Um, my husband, when I was married many years ago, lived in South Alabama, right by the ocean. I mean, it was a mile away.
oh, nice.
And he's like, "Oh, I haven't been down here in years." I'm like, "You're a mile from the ocean, from the Gulf, and you haven't been there? What's the matter with you? Don't you appreciate this?" I'm like, "Gosh," but because you're in it all the time,
Hmm.
you don't see it anymore. It just becomes background noise or background experience that isn't appreciated. And stopping to appreciate those kinds of things in your life, whether it's birds flying past your window or being close to the ocean, it makes a difference.
No, I agree. I know when I'm out hiking, like I will take pictures, like thank you social media, but I will take videos of just the tiniest little creature, because that's still, they have their life and they have whatever it is that they're doing,
Yeah,
or like you said, the birds, everybody's got their lives going, we look at our lives, yes, but
right.
animals,
Yeah, everything.
yeah, trees surround us and they're doing their flow as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I
It's
know
pretty
people.
neat to watch them. And you ever watch the bumblebees?
Oh my God, yes. I love to hear them.
They're so neat. And we had a magnolia tree out front.
Uh-huh.
And when the magnolia bloom is open, there's a big pod in the middle and it's got stamen all on it. And I actually have a video somewhere that I took a couple years ago. This little bee is working his tail off, taking all these little stamen off so he can get to the
Hmm.
nectar inside. And he's just working and working and working and working and taking all these stamen off so he can get into it. It was really cool. It's like, wow, what a job you have.
Yeah, and you don't think, is that what you call work? No, that is them working.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, I tell you what, we will pull the next card is we're gonna pull from the karma cards just to kind of see what we have to talk about the energies in dealing with this, because who knows, maybe there's something there that maybe we can fix while we're going through this um madness of energies.
Yeah.
Because I know karma, people don't think, like you said, think about the little things. You just think about what you've got going on and all the hustle and stuff of the day to day. All right, and this is another cute little deck too that I got. I really like it with all the 500 other decks that I got. Hold the door open for the person behind you. And if you flip
Nice.
it backwards, yeah. Now then, I would say with the energies going, sometimes you're so in thought or thinking about 500 million things. Just doing simple little things like holding the door for somebody is not going to hurt you. I know nowadays with the way society is and stuff, and people don't do that anymore, to be honest with you. You just go in and you forget about the person in front of you or the person behind you. You're just trying to focus on what you're going through on that day to day and trying to get what you need to get done. But just little things like this, people, is just really good karma. You may not think of me holding the door for somebody is going to be good karma, but it's also good energy flow. But
It is.
it's just something simple, and you're not paying for it. You don't, It's just
Right.
being really kind, the kindness of your heart.
Yeah. And
So,
that gives you a boost, and it also gives the other person a boost, especially if they're not experiencing that. I haven't seen people not holding the door. Social media says so many things that maybe that are experienced a little bit, but maybe not quite as much as you see on
mhm.
social media. But I I think that if I hold the door for someone, they're usually surprised that a woman is holding the door for them, especially if it's a guy,
Yeah.
and they get a little thrown by it. But they're usually smiling when they walk away, when they go to their, go through the door. And if you're able to bring a smile to somebody's face, that's increasing their vibration, which will increase the vibration of everybody that's around them for the next couple hours. It
Yeah.
all rolls up to that flow, increasing in happiness.
Yes. That brings me to my next saying, like, so when you're doing something like that, is it an expectation or is it just a reality? Like, okay, I'm gonna do this. You know,
Yeah,
like that's another way. Since we were talking about the energies, um, the expectation versus the reality of it.
right.
And so it's not an expectation. I can tell you that it is a reality that because you are doing something out of the kindness of your heart,
Yeah,
that it would be a nice, it's not expected, like Marge was saying. It's just something that's just you're doing for.
yeah. And there's so many of those little tiny things you can do
Mm-hmm.
that just make an impression and make somebody else happier as well as yourself. Because I know when I do something to make somebody smile like that, I'm like, yeah, that felt good for me too.
Yeah, and they might be having a disappointing day and just not feeling their energies are off. You just don't know what people are going through on a day to day, especially with because of what is going on with all the stuff going on. You just don't know what's happening with somebody else, and you can't
Right.
be judgmental because you don't know.
Yeah.
Sometimes I tell my friends, like, you got to put yourself in those people's shoes. What if they're having a bad day and you're trying to be really, like, straight and to the point with them, and you don't know what people are, so you have to take that
Right.
into consideration.
Yeah. With along those same lines, if you get thrown negative energy, or somebody gives you a look, a dirty look, or flips you a finger or something, you have to understand that that's a reflection of them. That is not you.
Mhm. Yes.
And bless them and move on.
I will say sometimes I do flip that finger because they're driving too fast in the state of Texas.
Careful, careful.
Let me tell you, if you are in Texas and you are not a good driver, you better learn really quickly.
Yeah, yeah. Like
But
New Jersey too.
yeah, oh my God, yes, definitely those New Jerseys. Woo, and they will tell you like it is in 2.5 seconds.
Yep. You'll get the horn and the salute.
Yeah. And then you start wondering, wait, are my energies off? Am I being ugly?
Right. Yeah.
But
You know,
yeah,
it's funny you talked about talking about cars and driving and stuff. I
uh,
bought a red car when I was, I don't know, 45, something like that. Anyway, I bought a red car, and
uh,
I had never, I mean, I didn't change the way I was driving,
mhm.
but so many people were flipping me off in that red car that I had never seen that happen before. Like, I called my mother and I'm like, all these old ladies are flipping me off. Is it because I'm in a red car? I don't understand. I'm not doing anything different. It was strange,
Oh
but
my God.
colors impact people's energy. So,
Oh yeah, red symbolizes like a fiery energy. So,
yeah,
and red means go. It's like fast. Of course, all
yeah,
the lights say red means stop, but who knows? Like with cars, they consider a red car fast moving. You know.
yeah. Hence the mid 40s red car thing,
Yes.
midlife crisis or whatever you want to call it. I wanted a red car. I hadn't had
Those
one since I was 16.
little red Corvettes. That's what they were talking about
Uh,
today.
Oh gosh, yeah.
You want, yeah. you have a car like that can see that.
It was strange. So the energy's flowing. We're talking about the energies that are flowing
Mm-hmm.
worldwide. You want to
Right.
talk about how our energy impacts others, or do you want to just talk about in general what we see going on right now?
So I know with the world, with every globally, with everything going on, it could be politics, it could be social media. That stuff can also have an upheaval or sense of unrest in your spirit, and so
Yeah.
there's like a lot of uncertainty there, and so you know that honestly can trigger anybody to be off their game.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
there's a lot of change happening
yes,
and a
yeah.
lot of awakening happening. So people don't know who they are, or they don't understand why are they experiencing the things they're experiencing now that they haven't experienced before. And
Mhm.
it's not necessarily got anything to do with all the negative news that they're hearing or the social media
Mhm.
and some people that aren't even listening to the news or anything still feel this anxiety because the energy does flow from one being to another.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you are on social media for a hot 5 minutes, you're already hearing something about what's going on. Like, I'll give you an example. Today, five, not even, I got home, did my thing, rested a little bit, but then I hear about Trump and Elon, and I'm like, oh my gosh, so I turned it off immediately. I'm like, oh my, I really, they're having, I don't know if you've heard, but have split apart, and so now they're having a whole TikTok war. And
Oh, for
so,
pity's sakes.
yeah, welcome
Well,
to.
I'm not surprised, but
Yeah, I knew that eventually we knew that was going to happen, but
yeah,
it was just a matter of time. You can't have two headstrongs playing the same game.
yeah,
So, but we'll see. That's TBA.
right.
Yeah.
I
So,
think I think a lot of the upheaval right now, Carol, is because there's so many changes taking place and people are trying to find their power and 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 the fear of the people that don't think they have any power. There's a lot of fear.
yeah, that's a big damper. I don't. The more you put that fear based out there, that's exactly what you're gonna attract to yourself.
Yep.
I cannot express that enough. There's nothing. You are a very powerful person. Whether you believe that or not, you are a powerful person, and you can overcome that fear. If you
Hmm.
choose to live in fear, then you're going to choose to live in fear. But you are
Right.
a powerful person inside and out, and that's what makes you who you truly are.
That's true.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I
Energy flows where energy goes. It's the
yes,
law of attraction, and that's just the way things work.
yes, yes. Now I hear some stuff all the time, and it just like I tell them I'm not going to give that power. I am not
Yeah.
giving that power, and I refuse to listen to that. And I
Right.
think we've said this a couple of times in some of the podcasts that we've had, since we started this journey with Neuvias. And so I cannot express it. Don't If you don't know your facts, don't give it energy. Like, that's all I got to tell you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah. Um, we'll pull another karma card, and see what else we've got going on.
Sounds good.
We can go there and go there and go there on
Yeah,
that.
Carol and I could talk for 3 hours straight on this subject for sure.
Yeah, because that's like a whole nother podcast on top of a podcast. So, whew, don't get us started. Just kidding. Oh, actually, I pulled it. So this one says praise a coworker or friend.
Send on that good energy.
Absolutely, yeah. Sending out good vibes. I can tell you, over the years where I've worked, you've never got a lot of recognition, and if people aren't hearing what a good job they're doing, it's a simple, your amazing job, good job, whatever it is, like it gives them a sense of like, okay, I'm doing something right, and I feel good
Right.
about myself because I am doing something right. we're coming from a corporate level, you never really got that pat on the back or great job. It was always, okay, you did this, now let's make you do more and do more. We're going to bring it up to the next level, next level. And so
Right.
just, even if as doing a coworker or a friend, it's just a simple like, I'm glad you're my friend, I cannot express that enough, or something just simple like that. That brings
Yeah.
good energy to someone's heart. Like, you have no idea. You probably just changed a little down that they may have been going through.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. What do you think, Marge? What do you think about praising? How would you think you would want to praise people?
I do not praise people as often as I should, because I think that my energy, I don't know. I don't know why I don't. I think partially because probably from my programming, it, it was like they would tell you good job and then kind of but
Oh yeah.
that was great, but that was great, but so so I don't do it as often as I should. And for
Um,
things that are just
yeah.
normal day-to-day stuff, I don't do it. But I do tell my friends and my
Mhm.
coworkers how much I like working with them, or how much I like having them in my life regardless of the day. Because
Right.
me caring about you is not about the work you're doing for me,
Right.
right? Or
Right.
and and that doesn't matter. I've had coworkers in the past that, they didn't report to me, but I
Hmm.
was so appreciative of the work that they did with the company to make my life easier, or to help the other people. So, it's just appreciating one another makes a big difference.
Oh no, I agree. I agree. I will tell you, Marge, since you did bring that up, my biggest one is I do not like compliments. I don't know why. I just do not take lightly to them. And I mean, I'm like you, I should. I guess I've never really been like, oh, you look good today or whatever, just little things. And I just like, okay, what do you want from me?
Oh,
How
yeah,
much money
yeah,
do you need?
yeah,
But it's not even about that, people. It's just about people being just generous with the way they're just expressing themselves to you.
genuinely too.
Genuinely, absolutely. And
Yeah. And it makes a bigger impact than just saying good job about, if you have a little kid that you're raising and they've tied their shoes, the first few times you say, good job, good job. But then after like 10 times, it's like, okay, you don't need to tell them good job every time they tie their shoes. They're going to be
right.
7 years old and looking for, oh, I tied my shoes today, you know, but making sure that you're giving it an appropriate time so people like Carol and I that don't necessarily understand why you're doing this for normal stuff. Yeah. It's kind
No,
of it's kind of strange, right?
it is. And honestly, it's
Do you
just,
think it's generational, Carol?
I think so. I think in our generation, we didn't really, that wasn't what we were vibing with in that moment. We kind of raised our own self. We did our own
Yeah.
thing. That Gen X, I swear, we went through a lot, but
Yeah.
we also got looking in, fresh eyes looking in with what we're going through with now. It's like a lot of things have been outdated, and
Right.
so that's no longer working in our life, and so it's kind of, we're transitioning and changing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
The frequency of thanks and the frequency of um kudos and appreciation for somebody can get so frequent. It's like if you say I love you every 10 minutes, it's like it loses its meaning
right.
for me anyway, you
Hmm.
know.
Yeah,
And so if you're giving compliments daily or all the time, then it really kind of looks like just a habit as opposed to
really
real
meaningful.
reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I can see that because it's like, when you have a birthday, your birthday comes around. Before you used to get all excited. As you get older, you're like, oh my gosh, I have another birthday.
Uh-huh. Right.
But it's just like when you were that kid, you're always excited for your birthday to come around.
Yeah.
And so maybe it's that just a kind of like a excitement that, woos you like, oh my gosh, it's my birthday again. So
Here we go again.
yay, yay. Yay, thank you. Thank
Uh,
you, Lord, for letting us have another breath of air this year.
yeah, another trip around the sun.
Yes.
It's
Uh,
cool
it's
when you
cool.
think about how the energies work between us, with between the people. The energy between people
Mhm.
also works with the energy with the earth itself.
Yes.
And I've been seeing some videos lately about plants. Have you seen any of these videos where the person will stand next to a plant and tell the plant to come closer, come closer, come closer? Have you
And
seen any of those? That's interesting. I'll have
I
to try that out.
haven't really, I haven't, but no, I have heard like um
You got that one day is always touching you when you're in the meetings here.
yes, yes. Oh yeah. But no, there is one that I have seen a video where they were doing something and I think it was a squirrel, and they said, come here," and the squirrel just came right up to him. And
Yeah,
you know, you cannot get a squirrel sometimes to just come up, but the squirrel came. They fed it some little nuts, and then he went about his day. But it's
yeah,
just, you know, depending, the way I see it is whatever energy you're putting off, you know, animals, trees, plants, they can feel that energy because they're also made
absolutely.
of energy. I always find that very interesting. Like we're all made of energy,
Yeah.
and so people don't look at it that way. I don't think so. You
No,
know,
a lot of people don't.
no.
And even those of us that know it, and we don't necessarily live it all the time.
Yes. No,
It's
we
just part of
don't.
being human.
Yes, I know. I know. But yeah, if you just take a step back and look around at everything, everything's made of energy. So, you know, me personally, I will talk to my car because my car's made of energy. Like,
Hmm.
okay, here we go. We got work. I'm going to work again. You know, let's do this again. Or some, you know,
Yeah,
people are like, are you really seriously talking to your? Yes, because it's energy.
absolutely.
You know, it is
Absolutely.
energy. Yes. So my car's getting me to work where I need to be, and that is how I talk. That's my baby right there, and I'm gonna take care of it.
Yep.
So,
I remember joking with my sister. I wasn't really joking, but I was kind of said it as a joke because she doesn't understand my woo-woo stuff. And she was saying, I hate this computer. I was like, well, that's why it doesn't work for you.
mhm.
I said, I come over, I start working on it, it's working fine for me. So I don't understand. I said, if you got to be careful because these things all talk to one another too. You talk bad to your computer, your printer's going to act up, and then your car, and then your. So don't
Oh
do it.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
don't throw that energy out there.
Hmm. Same with the cell phones. You would think your cell phone is
Oh
not listening.
yeah,
Of course, it's always listening, but
yeah,
if you're mean with that phone, like, oh, this, you got a bad call, you just throw it. That phone, I give it a good month or two, and it's done.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, just remember people, everything's made up of energy. So however you treat it, it's gonna treat you right back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good
Remember,
point.
cultivate joy in your life so you can expand that energy flow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, for sure. I will pull March one from the spirit animals and see what they have to say. That's the one I was
Okay.
trying to pull from before, but I guess the caramel one was preaching to me over here. So
Yep. So let me talk. Let me talk.
yes. So we're talking today, if y'all are joining us, we're talking about the energies are flowing because we've been experiencing a lot of crazy energies, good energies, bad energies, lightheaded, dizziness, and we're not doctors here, so by all means, that's not what we're trying to let y'all be aware of. But we're just talking about the way the energies are flowing around us. So
Yep.
yeah, I just have to express that because I don't want to. Well, so and so said. No, we do not
Yeah.
do that. Because,
No,
yeah,
there's no diagnosis here.
no diagnosis at all. All right, let's see. So we got polar bear. It's so cute. Look, March.
Oh, that's darling.
Yeah, the
So
little
cute.
baby, and they're holding. Aw. So this one says mystic. Know that challenges make you stronger. Have faith when you face adversity. Take time to rest, dream, and renew your strength. Embrace your psychic abilities. And let me tell you, people, we all have psychic abilities. It's just
Yeah.
tuning into what gift you have. And then you carry the shaman within.
Amen.
Yes, carry this.
Yeah. That's a nice one. I like that.
I know I had a lot of good insights.
Yeah, it did.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, so just like as we were talking about the energies, it's talking about the challenges only make us stronger. So if you are feeling like you're just being pulled in all directions, maybe those challenges are going to just help you grow and evolve and get some nourishing for your soul to where you truly need to be. And then,
Absolutely.
yeah,
And
and then
sometimes
talking,
those challenges also help direct you into a different path.
yes, yes. And honestly, Marge, I think a lot of us have to find another path to change too. Because, first of all, I know we don't like change, but sometimes change is good for us. And if
Hmm.
you can't steer yourself out of a negative energy, it's leaving that negative energy behind so you could flow into positive energy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I do a remove and replace. I don't try and push away the negative stuff. I
mhm,
just try to make sure there's so much positive, there's no room for the negative.
yes. That's actually really smart, Marge. Even dealing with some negative, like you can always sit down too, take a notepad and pen, write down all your negatives
Hmm.
and rip that page up. You can rip them up and let it go, or you can burn it, send it out to the universe. I mean, that's one way to just do it. If you're one of the, I'm a hands-on person, so I have to physically do something in order for me to think, well, not think, in order for me to visualize it working. And
Oh, okay.
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
that's kind of one way how I would do that. But have faith. That's a lot that, you know, faith over fear. I cannot express that. Faith over fear so much because we put more emphasis on fear that we forget our faith.
That's true.
Yeah. Look at me preaching over here.
Yay.
And then take time to rest, dream, and then, of course, renew your strength. I will also say
Sleep.
yes, because I know you and me, Marge, lately, our sleep patterns have been all off the charts.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
they have.
Yeah. So if you guys are having struggle trying to sleep, and you know what? I forgot to tell you, I've been taking melatonin too with something that I'm taking at night. It don't work for me.
Oh no.
No, so just be careful too when you are taking that melatonin because I do know if you take too much of it, it's not really good for your body.
Mm.
But I was thinking, well, let me just take a little bit of it to see if it will help me sleep.
Yeah.
I'm wide awake. I'm just,
Oh wow.
yeah, so I don't think that has a good effect on me, but be sure you're at least getting your 5 to 6 hours if you can't get your full 8 hours.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. And then
because,
try and take a nap later.
yes, that 20
If you
minute
only get
power.
5 or 6, try and get a little bit of an
Yeah.
extra snooze in. Those 20-minute power naps can be great for you.
Oh my God, yeah. Remember we used to do those 20-minute power naps.
Yeah. I still do them because when my sleep pattern gets screwed, because I'm that night owl.
Oh yeah.
And if I actually get up early when I've been to bed late, then it's like I'm doing a power nap.
I know. Power naps are wonderful. And then of
Yeah.
course it says embrace your psychic abilities. Let's talk about that one for a second.
Yeah.
How do people know when they feel that they have a sense of some type of psychic ability in them?
Well, everybody has them. They don't just necessarily recognize them as psychic, with the quotes, big old quotes around it. Because everybody can feel if somebody walks into a restaurant that they're sitting at, that somebody's looking at them. You can feel that. You don't see them, you can feel it.
That.
And those feelings are part of your intuition, which is a psychic ability. All mothers have intuition, which
Mm-hmm.
is a psychic ability. It's just part of being an animal or being alive, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just that simple. You know,
Yeah.
we are all born with it. It's how we utilize it
Yeah.
is a whole different scenario. So,
And practicing and recognizing too.
yes,
So if you want to make your, if you want to increase your ability to be psychic, it's about practice. You get those muscles worked up because it's a skill
yes,
as well as a natural ability.
yes. I will give you a quick example. I think I may have told this before. Even if you pick up like a ring of a friend's or a t-shirt or something and start feeling the energies in there, or even in the ring, you can start
You'll
um,
get things if you're
yeah,
listening.
start getting some clarity on what what history the ring may have had, or what's going on with the person because of their clothing, because of the energy that they wore. So it's
Mhm.
just little things like that. And don't second guess yourself and thinking maybe I'm wrong. Once that you hit that first instinct, it's pretty accurate.
Yeah. Yeah. Those first impressions are, and well, it's not a first impression because that's a whole other social construct. But, but like you said, when you get a knowing or
Mhm.
an intuitive hit, there's something about it that hits you, and you're like, oh yeah, that's true. But then you'll start second guessing yourself. That's my imagination. It's my imagination. Well, don't second guess it. Just go with it.
Yeah, just go with the flow. And then the last one on this card says you carry the shaman within. So, yeah, so I know there's some people that have very, very, very strong shaman within themselves and they find that. But we, like I said, we talk, we all have psychic abilities. We all, shamans heal. We can all heal ourselves. It's just a matter of doing it. Like I'm a holistic. I would rather try to help myself first, and then if I have to absolutely go see a doctor, then I will do that.
Right.
But I also try to do the holistic ways first. You
Mm-hmm.
can get on any website, Chat GPT now, type up what's going on, and it'll tell you. Now, we're not once again saying that we're doctors here or anything, but
Right.
there's also tons of holistic approaches to help yourself better.
Yeah. With all sorts of things.
Absolutely, yes. So,
So when it says the shaman within, Carol, a shaman is a healer and a psychic. What other traits would a shaman?
oh, a warrior. The shaman would be a warrior.
Hmm.
Um, type. It's. I think shamans are type of like a, well, not like an Indian is how I would picture shamans.
Right.
Back in their day, I do know one lady who's very has a shaman ancestors, and so they're very like intuitive, very gifted. It's kind of like going to a psychic, basically.
Yeah. Spiritually, spiritually
Yeah, spiritual
focused.
advisor. They also can help healing processes, heal people's bodies and stuff like that.
Right.
So they're really good shamans out there that they're really hard to find. But I've actually read up when I was telling you earlier about reading when I started my spiritual journey. I started reading about Hinduism, Buddhism, shamanism, and so these are just a couple of things that I was trying to, I guess, maneuver through to find my way to what really truly resonated with what I was feeling and going
Mhm.
through. And so,
So you got a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
yeah, yes,
Yeah.
I bought so many books back in the day. I don't think people buy books anymore. Everything's ebook.
Digital.
Yeah, ebooks, and so, but yeah, just finding that shaman within you, you can heal your body. Like Lucy Hayes, heal your life, heal your body, heal your life.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, your body does heal itself constantly.
Mm-hmm.
Constantly.
Yes.
Every moment of every day, your body is healing.
Yes. It does. No, it really does, Marge. So, but
It
yeah,
knows how to do it if you get out of the way.
I start not and I'll always think, oh, my arm hurts today. Oh, my brain hurts today. Oh, I have when you start thinking that
Yeah.
constantly,
It just
that's
comes.
exactly, yeah.
Again, energy goes where energy flow, or energy
That
flows where
is, that's true. That's why I'm like, now start thinking you're going to be getting sick because you will make yourself sick.
yes.
So yeah, yeah. So just positive enlightenment, positive enlightenment.
Yep, yep.
Well, do you
Uh,
have anything to close this session out today? Do you have a saying you would like to add, Marge?
I would just like to remind everybody what we've said probably 10 times in here is spread joyful energy. If you experience joyful energy and spread joyful energy, the whole world will be better.
Absolutely. No, I agree. Well, this really concludes our podcast tonight. We hope you enjoy the energies are flowing. If you feel like you need someone to talk to or chat, please visit us at www.neuvias.com. We will be there to help you answer any questions that you might have. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else. I hope you do enjoy this. We will see you next Friday on our podcast. Yes, much love and light. Thank you.
Yes.
Take care.
Thank you. Have a good night.